Hello and welcome to the first video of the Data Marketing School YouTube channel. Today you'll learn how to track Elementor forms with Google Tag Manager. The first thing that you need to do is to check that your form is actually an Elementor form. Click on your form and click on Inspect. And then inside the HTML, you need to make sure that here the class is Elementor. So you need to make sure that inside the form there are Elementor this Elementor keyword in the classes, and that the name of the input starts with form fields. And so this means that this is an Elementor form. If your form is an Elementor form, you will need to install a listener, which is a piece of JavaScript code that will listen to only valid form submissions from your users. I will add a link to this blog post below so that you can copy this code. So you just copy this code, go to Google Tag Manager, then select a new tag, then click on Custom HTML tag. Just paste the code inside, trigger it on, let's say, page view. So in this trigger, I check that the page path contains Elementor form, which is the case here on my website. It's recommended not to trigger this code on every page of your website, but just select the page on which there is your Elementor form. So, and then here you can call this Elementor form listener. Okay. So click save. And then we're going to check if this is working correctly. So click on preview, select the path that you want to check, a message, and then hit send. So here you can see that your submission was successful. And if we go back to our preview tag assistant, we can see here that our listener triggered a data layer event called generate lead. And inside this data layer event, you can see form data. So you can find the form ID. So if, for example, you have several forms on your page, you can differentiate them with the form ID, and then you have all the form fields. So here we have the name, the email, and the message. Okay, so with this information, let's say we want to send an event to our GA4 property. So here I've already configured the Google tag with my measurement ID here. So let's copy this and we'll create a new tag, an event tag. Here I paste the measurement ID. Here let's call this generate lead. Here I'm going to trigger this on the generate lead data layer event. So let's select generate lead here. I call this DLE for data layer event and generate lead. Okay, save. And then here I name it G4-event-generate lead. So here I'm just taking this event here, generate lead, and I'm saying GTM trigger this tag when this data layer event is triggered. You can also configure this to enable enhanced conversions on Google Ads. So let's do this. So I'm just gonna create a conversion linker tag. So I'm doing this very quick because this is not the main subject of this video. And here, let's say I have a conversion tag, I have a conversion ID here, conversion label here, and I want to include user provided data from my website. And here I can create a user provided data variable. And inside this variable, I can map what's inside here, inside this form data object. So let's say I want to take the email. So I will need to go into the form data object and then select the form fields email. Okay, so I'm going back here, and here I'm going to create a new variable. I will select a data layer variable, and here I will write from data dot. The dot is used to go inside an object, and then from fields, and here email. So I'm taking this here and I'm calling this DLV for data layer variable. And here you can do the same thing with the phone. So in my example, there are no phone numbers, phone number in the form, but if you have one, you can map this as well, and then you can click on save. Okay. So here I just mapped the email, and let's trigger this on our event. So on when the form is completed, submitted, and here let's call this gads new lead. Okay, let's save and just open the preview again. Okay, and send. So here you can see that it's okay, and here you can see that the email is correctly sent to Google Ads. So this will enable enhanced conversions inside your Google Ads account. If you are redirected to a confirmation page when you submit your form, or you want to change the form fields names inside the data layer event, please watch this video until the end. Here on your Elementor page, you can click on Edit with Elementor. Then you can select your Elementor form here. So here you have your form fields. Here you have your content inside the field name, for example. And if you click to advanced, you can change the ID here. So for example, if you have a random value like this here, you can change the name here, and it's going to be the same that will appear here in your data layer event. Okay, so this is the first thing. And about the redirections, if your form submission redirects you to another page, it is not recommended for this listener. So if you go to actions after submit, and here, if you have redirect here, you can remove this and keep it this way.